On May 29, 2024, Sergeant Michael Ferguson of the
An ordinary parking complaint in Oklahoma quickly turns into something far more serious. A landscaper explains to police that a local resident became furious over where his work trailer was parked while he was cutting grass in the neighborhood. According to the worker, the homeowner aggressively confronted him, screamed profanities, and even poked him in the chest during the argument. As officers speak with nearby neighbors, multiple people begin describing the resident as someone known for constantly causing problems and harassing neighbors with unnecessary complaints. What initially looks like a routine disagreement slowly starts building into a tense neighborhood conflict, and officers already seem very familiar with the man at the center of it all.
Box or their driveway when that's the yard I'm trying to get to. He's trying to tell me I'm supposed to park down by the elementary school. But I did accommodate, make sure I had my phones out, I got space to get around, and as you saw, his own vehicle, he was still able to get out of his own driveway and block the whole freaking section off, which is what he was saying. He couldn't even back out of his driveway because I was blocking the road.
Okay. Well, all right then.
And of course, too, when I first pulled up here, I got started. Before I even made my first pass, he came out there jumping, yelling, "Hey, what the fuck are you doing? You can't be parking there. How the hell am I supposed to get out of my driveway? If you don't move it, I'm going to call the cops." He pokes me, jabbed me right in the face, right in the chest.
He jabbed you in the chest?
Yes, sir.
You want to file assault battery charges?
If he wants to press the matter about being how he is, then yes. Otherwise, if we can just let things bygones be bygones, then I'd say let it go. But if he wants to keep acting like that, then yes.
Hello. How are you?
Neighbor, man. I'm just going to say, I mean, Richard, he's a prick. I mean, he's always doing stuff like this. I mean, this guy's just trying to work and cut yards. And I mean, he does stuff like this all the time.
Oh, I'm very familiar with
I'm
Mr.
sure you
McMahon.
are,
Yeah.
I'm just sorry. I just wanted to vouch for him because I know you're just trying to do your thing, and he's always got to be a...
I mean, like you heard him, how does that make sense for me to go park down by the elementary school to come way down here on my mower? That's not logical at all.
Anywhere block anything for him, he just loses his mind.
If you exist in this cul-de-sac, he loses his mind.
I mean, it's pretty ridiculous.
And like you saw, like he was saying, he couldn't back out. He had plenty of room, even with my tailgate down.
Yeah,
he was able to get out of his driveway, and he decided to try to barricade me in here.
Okay. Did you at any point in time try to leave?
No, I'm still working. Not like I just got done with mowing. I'm just starting with the edge.
Richard was blocking the road.
Yeah.
Still saw his car out here.
I'm just about done with the edge, and I still got to weed eat and then blow it, and then I'm heading off to the next one.
Okay. You have your ID on you?
Certainly.
All right, hold time for me up there.
Is it okay if I go ahead and keep working?
Yeah, I don't care. Well, Mr. McMahon was on one. Yeah, I'm recording. Mr. McMahon was on one when I got here.
As officers continue investigating the complaint, the tone of the situation noticeably changes. Instead of treating this like a simple parking dispute, officers begin openly expressing frustration toward the homeowner on Bodycam. The landscaper ultimately decides he does not want to press assault charges, which should normally calm the situation down. But instead, officers start discussing other possible violations they can use against the resident. The focus suddenly shifts toward how the homeowner parked his own vehicle inside the cul-de-sac. Officers even begin talking about taking him to jail. At this point, what started as a minor disagreement is beginning to feel personal, and the situation is now moving toward a dangerous escalation.
Yeah, pretty much.
What does Richard have to do?
Oh, because Richard is pissed off that he's blocking the cul-de-sac. So basically, lawn guy, Mr. Nunley, is like, listen, if he doesn't want to do anything, if he just wants to drop it, I just want to drop it. Even the firefighter neighbor right there with the 2 trucks, he was trying to get in his driveway. Richard's blocking the entire cul-de-sac, won't let him in. And he comes out and he's like, yeah, Richard's a... And I'm like, yep, he is. Yeah, we're very aware. So really at this point, I was just going to see what all traffic charges I have on Richard. Illegal parking probably would be my guess. Because I asked him, I was like, were you trying to leave it all? And he's like, no, he was just blocking the cul-de-sac. So I'm like, okay. Which I can write him a citation for because I saw that. And then we just need to determine whether or not he wants to press charges for the assault and battery.
Oh, Richard hit him?
He took his finger and shoved it into his chest.
Okay.
Yeah. So it would bring me great pleasure if we could take Richard McMahon to jail tonight.
Sergeant Ferguson briefs another officer who arrives on scene about the situation and discusses the possibility of pursuing assault and battery charges against Mr. McMahon for allegedly jabbing his finger into the landscaper's chest. Under Oklahoma law, the offenses of assault and battery are closely related and often charged together. Section 641 of Title 21 of the Oklahoma statutes defines an assault as an unlawful attempt or offer with force or violence to do a corporal hurt to another, while Section 642 defines a battery as an unlawful use of force or violence upon the person of another. Because a battery is essentially the completed form of an assault, prosecutors typically charge the conduct as assault and battery when there is an actual physical touching or use of force. As the Court of Criminal Appeals of Oklahoma clarified in the 1989 case of Steele versus State, only the slightest unwanted touching is sufficient to satisfy the so-called force or violence element of battery. Accordingly, it is likely that a court would conclude that Mr. McMahon's actions in poking the landscaper was sufficient to warrant a charge of assault and battery.
So, I'm assuming, Mr. Traffic Officer, that you cannot block an entire roadway with your vehicle. McMahon's claim was that he could not get around it, but clearly he was able to if he was blocking it in. So,
I don't understand this guy.
He's a narcissist. He's a narcissist with nothing better to do.
Well, Richard calls us, but as soon as you roll up, he sees that he's in the wrong.
Yeah, because he doesn't want contact.
And he skirts inside because he knows I shouldn't have been doing that.
Who's the neighbor he has issues with?
All of them.
The one on the backside.
Well, and then this one down here, he has issues with.
This one over here is kind of race related, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Because he's always saying he doesn't like.
Who's the one with the PO against him?
The one on the backside.
The one on the backside.
Okay.
Yeah.
But is one of these the ones he always calls about the kids?
That's that one back there. No person shall park a vehicle within a street or alley in such a manner or under such conditions as to leave available less than 10 feet of width of roadway for the free movement of vehicular traffic. Do you think that would cover this?
Do you know exactly where he was parking?
This guy? Right here.
Oh, you're talking about this guy?
Yeah.
Oh.
Richard was blocking the entire road. He was perpendicular to the roadway. No. Richard's bought and paid for. Okay. I haven't been on the backside, but let's get a wheel and go see. And if he's got 10 feet, I say it's fine. So, how about you and I go talk to the victim over here, see if he wants to press charges for the assault and battery. And I was going to add him to the call real quick. McMahon, I hate this guy. Yep. Oh, I hate Richard McMahon. I don't care. Oh, I'll stand back and let you guys take care of it. I just think he's a douchebag.
Yes, sir.
Here's your ID back, man. So, do you want to press charges for the assault and battery?
Is he still trying to press me? Am I potentially facing a ticket for not parking legally?
As from what I can see, you haven't done anything wrong at all.
Is he still being good? I really don't want to, but
okay.
As long as everything's copacetic. I mean, I was pretty sure I was parked legally because I didn't obstruct anything.
It's not the greatest, but I also see that, from a practicality standpoint, you don't have a whole lot of other options. The ordinance says you have to leave at least 10 feet all the way around the trailer. You've done that. So I don't see anything wrong with it. It's just this guy's this guy.
Okay.
Yeah, so. All right.
Your last yard.
Just in case he might come back out, because even when I told him, I was like, well, then if you're going to keep acting that way, I'll just press charge on you for assault. He said, well, you ain't got it on camera, do you? Because of his attitude, what's going on, if you wouldn't mind just waiting like 5 or 10 minutes and I'll be done, just in case he tries to come back out.
Yeah, we'll leave somebody out in the cul-de-sac for you.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. All right, well, he doesn't want to press charges for anything, so we'll just let it go. He's not going to answer the door for his improper parking, so.
You want to try?
Sure.
He, when I was measuring, he did open the door, so he's right there.
No.
Did he answer the door? Did he open the door out of curiosity?
He opened the door, then looked, and then closed the door. So he's by the door. He's watching.
Of course he is. Yeah, we can try.
The officers decide to approach Mr. McMahon's residence and knock on his door in order to issue a citation for the parking violation.
Officers walk up to the homeowner's front door planning to issue a citation for allegedly blocking the roadway. At first, the conversation appears calm and controlled. But the moment the resident disagrees with the officers and attempt to close his own front door, everything instantly explodes. Officers suddenly declare him detained and force their way into the house without warning. Within seconds, the homeowner is wrestled to the ground inside his own home while repeatedly asking what crime he committed. What began as a simple parking complaint has now transformed into a chaotic physical arrest, and this moment would later become the center of major constitutional controversy.
The way he's parked is legal. The way you were parked when I showed up was not. So I need to see your driver's license so I can issue a citation for blocking the roadway.
I didn't block the road.
Yes, you did. I saw you. Listen. Hey! I'm investigating a traffic crime. You do not have the right to do that. You are detained. You are detained.
Come in my house.
You are detained.
For what?
For the traffic violation I observed. I need to see your license.
You're detaining me for a traffic violation.
Yes, I am. Open the door.
You're detaining.
Come here. You are under arrest. You are under arrest.
All 5 of you.
Yep, you are under arrest.
All 5 of you. Hey!
You got a gun?
Hey! Let me go!
Lay down.
Hey!
One second.
You are under arrest. Quit resisting.
Not resisting!
Give me your arm.
Good Lord! Hey, guys. Oh, my goodness. Don't break my...
Well, then,
Quit resisting.
Ow!
Quit resisting.
I'm not... Ow!
you are actively resisting against me.
I am not... Holy...
Now you're under arrest for resisting arrest, obstruction, and the parking violation.
Mr. McMahon closes the door on the officers when Sergeant Ferguson asks for his driver's license in order to issue a citation, and Sergeant Ferguson responds by forcing his way into the home, handcuffing Mr. McMahon, and announcing that he is under arrest for resisting arrest, obstruction, and the parking violation. Under the Fourth Amendment, officers generally may not enter a home to make an arrest without a warrant, and the Supreme Court has repeatedly held that the home receives the highest level of constitutional protection. However, there are some exceptions to this rule, such as emergency situations or the so-called hot pursuit exception, which allows officers to enter a dwelling without a warrant when they are in immediate and continuous pursuit of a suspect who has fled from a lawful arrest initiated in a public place. Here, the officers initiated the interaction by knocking on Mr. McMahon's door, meaning that there was no pursuit from a public location to constitute so-called hot pursuit. And even if a court considered closing the door as some form of flight, the Supreme Court held in the 2021 case of Lang versus California that in the context of an individual suspected of misdemeanor offense, flight does not automatically justify warrantless entry to make an arrest. Instead, there must be a genuine emergency under the totality of the circumstances, such as imminent danger or the potential destruction of evidence. Although refusing to provide a driver's license for a citation could potentially be considered obstruction under Section 540 of Title 21 of the Oklahoma statutes, it is improbable that the circumstances here would justify a warrantless home entry, as it is a misdemeanor and there did not appear to be any ongoing emergency. Likewise, resisting in violation of Section 268 of Title 21 of the Oklahoma statutes requires that the defendant use physical effort to oppose the officer, and it is unclear from the body camera footage whether Mr. McMahon forcibly resisted the officers. And even if Mr. McMahon did resist, Oklahoma also continues to recognize a limited right to resist an unlawful arrest, as the Court of Criminal Appeals of Oklahoma confirmed in the 2015 case of State versus Nelson. Taken together, these principles strongly suggest that the officer's forcible entry into Mr. McMahon's home would be very difficult to justify under established Fourth Amendment law.
Okay.
All right, don't move so I can get these locked.
I never resisted you to begin with.
Yes.
After being handcuffed inside his home, the resident repeatedly insists that he never resisted officers. Meanwhile, police attempt to justify the aggressive arrest by accusing him of obstruction and resisting detention. But as bodycam footage continues recording, uncertainty begins spreading among the officers themselves. They start discussing internal reporting requirements, possible injuries, and use of force documentation. The tension from the confrontation still hangs heavily over the scene. Then comes a shocking twist. Despite being violently detained and taken to jail overnight, the homeowner is released the very next day without being charged with a single crime.
Shut the door on us. Other sheep.
What crime?
Parking violation. Come on. Hey.
I'm going, guys. I'm
Hey.
going.
Hey, real quick. We did this once. Do not do it
Ow!
again. Hey, stop. This can go either which way you choose.
I'm
All right?
choosing to
You
go
can peacefully
peacefully.
walk out there, or you can keep fighting us and go back to the ground. Do you understand?
Come on, Pepper.
Yes or no?
Yes.
All right, let's go.
I'm not gonna. I thought I could walk out here peacefully.
I thought that.
Yeah, we shut the door. Keep walking.
Ask him. I don't know. Yeah, what am I dealing with?
I told you.
Bring me over to the store back there. Did somebody grab my thumb?
Here you go.
I never even tried to resist or anything. You all came on me like a... Wow.
All right, Richard, you have anything on you?
No.
Okay. All right. Take your glasses off. There we go.
Sleeper, did you get the phone?
All right,
We
hey,
get the phone.
Where's that?
It was right next to that end table.
Let me get the air turned on for you.
Yep.
You could also get animal at large. You really wanted to.
Well, I don't think we can push the animal at large.
Yeah, I'm not willing to push that. His
Did
glasses
Sleeper
are
get the
right
dog back inside?
there.
They
Yeah,
ran
dog's back
back
inside.
Was that, who was that to him, the female?
Pretty sure it's just a neighbor. So,
Well, she jumped in to get involved pretty quick, didn't she?
sure did, didn't she? You want to go ahead and just get him down there?
Yeah.
I'll write,
Go with them.
please.
Okay.
I'll write up the obstructing the flow of traffic or the improper parking citation, and we'll do the resisting obstruction on top of that.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll document that when we get down to the jail. We'll have to do a blue team on it, so, yeah.
I didn't render any strikes at all.
No one rendered strikes.
I understand, but I'm just letting you know.
Well, because it drew blood, well,
I know, I'm just letting General, hey, I didn't take any use of force tactics.
yeah, I know. But we'll still need to blue team it, so,
No, absolutely. Okay.
yeah.
All right, I'll get him down here. Are you in custody?
I'll take it.
We'll both be down there.
Yeah, doesn't matter.
Okay.
Whoever.
Alrighty.
All right, thank you. He's got the cell phone.
Okay.
Frank 228. Would you show me in custody to Mill? All right, I'll meet you down there.
Okay.
Thanks, sir. Hey, did you lock the door? Okay. All right.
Mr. McMahon was detained overnight, but he was released the following day without being charged with any crime.
The fallout from this encounter quickly becomes much bigger than anyone expected. Following an internal investigation, Sergeant Ferguson is officially fired from the police department. Months later, the homeowner files a federal civil rights lawsuit against the officers and the city itself. Legal experts reviewing the footage argue that the forced entry into the home may have violated core Fourth Amendment protections. And while many neighbors describe the resident as difficult and confrontational, constitutional rights do not disappear simply because someone is unpopular. What started as a simple neighborhood parking dispute has now become a major legal battle that could have serious consequences for everyone involved.
Fourth Amendment and constitutional rights in general, and for displaying an apparent bias against Mr. McMahon at several points throughout the interaction. Sergeant Ferguson's handling of this incident reflected a complete disregard for the constitutional boundaries that govern home entries. At the moment that he approached Mr. McMahon's residence, the only legitimate offense under consideration was a potential parking violation, which is a nonviolent misdemeanor and carries no punitive circumstances that would justify a warrantless entry. As discussed earlier in the episode, officers may approach a residence and knock on the door under the so-called knock and talk doctrine, but the occupant has every right to decline the interaction and close the door. When Mr. McMahon attempted to do exactly that, Sergeant Ferguson treated the act as resistance, even though it was entirely consistent with the rights that are afforded to every homeowner. There was no emergency, no risk of destruction of evidence, and no lawful arrest underway in a public space. By forcing the door open and entering the home without a warrant, Sergeant Ferguson acted far outside the bounds of the Fourth Amendment and transformed a minor municipal issue into a major constitutional violation. The manner in which Sergeant Ferguson escalated the encounter also raises serious concerns about his understanding of the laws that he was attempting to enforce. Refusing to hand over identification for a citation may support an obstruction charge under certain circumstances, but only when the officer is otherwise acting within their lawful authority. Here, the sergeant's authority ended at Mr. McMahon's front door, but instead of recognizing that limitation of his lawful authority, Sergeant Ferguson used Mr. McMahon's reluctance to interact as justification for barging into the home, which is the precise outcome that the Fourth Amendment was designed to prevent. Furthermore, Sergeant Ferguson's own comments during the interaction further undermined the legitimacy of his actions. At several points, he made statements indicating that he held personal animosity toward Mr. McMahon, and his own body cam footage captured him referring to Mr. McMahon in openly derogatory terms. This kind of language suggests that his decision-making was influenced by bias rather than an objective assessment of the facts. Officers are expected to remain neutral and professional even when dealing with difficult individuals, as impartiality is supposed to serve as the safeguard that prevents personal feelings from becoming law enforcement decisions. But perhaps the only silver lining in all of this is that the Broken Arrow Police Department acted relatively quickly to address the incident, and they terminated the former sergeant within 2 months. This interaction highlights how essential it is for officers to separate personal frustration from lawful authority, and how quickly a routine call can go wrong when officers lose sight of the constitutional limitations that must guide every decision that they make while interacting with the public. As for Mr. McMahon, we will not be issuing a grade for his conduct in this episode. Although Mr. McMahon would likely be guilty of assault and battery if the allegations against him were true, we simply have no way to independently verify the legitimacy of these claims, and he was ultimately not charged with any crimes. Mr. McMahon's behavior during the early portion of this incident was far from ideal. Multiple neighbors made it clear that he has a long history of hostility towards the people living around him, and the body cam footage confirms that he's not an easy person to deal with. His decision to confront the landscaper, block the roadway with his vehicle, and then inject himself into what should have been an uneventful day of yard work all suggest that he played a sizable role in creating the tension that led to this encounter. Nothing about his reputation in the neighborhood paints him in a flattering light, and if the allegation that he jabbed the landscaper in the chest is accurate, well then his conduct would have met the legal threshold for assault and battery under Oklahoma law. And if he had actually been charged with a crime, or it was objectively established that he did in fact commit assault and battery, then his grade would have certainly been an F. That said, neither his reputation or his conduct justified the actions of the Broken Arrow officers. The Fourth Amendment does not evaporate merely because someone is being difficult, annoying homeowner's temperament. When Mr. McMahon chose to close his door on the officer, rude or is widely disliked, and it does not bend in proportion to a home, regardless of how the officers felt about him. The body cam officers, he was exercising a right that is afforded to every resident. Footage does not show him launching an attack, attempting to flee, or threatening the officers in any meaningful way. His only real act of resistance was refusing to participate in an interaction that he was not legally required to entertain, and his attempt to block the door was a direct response to the officers trying to force their way inside without a warrant. Under those circumstances, even individuals with spotless reputations would be entitled to push back. It's also worth noting, by the way, that Mr. McMahon followed up this encounter with the proper legal action by filing a lawsuit against the parties involved in entering his home. Filing a federal civil rights lawsuit and holding the department accountable through legal channels is exactly the kind of response that produces lasting scrutiny and potential reform. And regardless of how anyone feels about his personality or his behavior towards his neighbors, choosing lawful remedies after such a violation shows at least some degree of restraint and an understanding of judicial remedies. While I do commend Mr. McMahon for pursuing accountability through the judicial process and for lawfully asserting his rights, this interaction likely could have been avoided altogether if he had just exercised more restraint in his dispute with his neighbors. It will be very interesting to see how this lawsuit plays out in court, and I'm going to be sure to keep you updated in future episodes. Let us know if there is an interaction or legal topic that you would like us to discuss in the comments down below. Thank you for watching,